Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from Wawa, baby. That's right. We got a meeting of the minds this morning. I see all the LEO over there, all having a little meeting of the minds, either before they come on duty or after they're just getting off duty. But there's about 10 of them over there, so I was gonna go over and say hello, but I didn't want to interrupt the party. Let's go in and get a cup of coffee. I'm hitting it early this morning. I'm glad you're all with me. All 177,000 beautiful souls. Let's begin the day. It's Saturday. Crush it. So here we go. Wawa, we got some great coffee right over here. The best coffee you ever drank in your life. I'm going for a medium because I had a pot at the house this morning. As you guys know, I was up late last night around, I don't know, I'm not gonna get the smallest. Here we go, right here. I actually got to bed about midnight. I was crushing it. That's because I felt better. I was off those medicines, and I'm ready to go back to some original hazelnut, even though I bought the Irish cream over at Walmart or wherever I went shopping. That's about the only place I do shop. Let's put a little hazelnut in there, and we're going to go with regular coffee this morning, or possibly the Colombian. I'm not going to go with the, this is probably what got me yesterday, the Cuban. That stuff will get you going. Let's go with some Colombian this morning. Let's see. Oh, we got some steam. We got steam. It's hot. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Wawa coffee. Do we need a thing? I think we might need a thing to keep our hands from getting burned. Let's see if we can get it on there, though. One-handed operation here. Here we go. Oh, he didn't do it. Second try. You got to be quick, or it folds back in on you. Look. Oh, I got help. All right, look at that. We're golden. We're golden. Now we're heading over here to cash out. Buy somebody a cup of coffee. I keep looking at them. It's all wrapped up in His glory, but we're on the exercise kick, so we're not gonna do that. I'll just take this.
Okay, Tim.
I can't give away any money today.
I tell you, 2:30. I like it. Where's your rewards card?
I keep forgetting to, reward myself.
Come on, you're a Wawa fan?
I know it.
What am I going to do with you?
Well, we're going to get it next time. He gave me a card. I just got to register the app,
All right.
I guess.
It takes
All right, we'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. See, she knows my name, man. She knows my name. Oh, yeah, these are my people here. Well, that was satisfying, even though I didn't buy somebody. I offered to buy the lady that helped me out with the little cup holder and the lady behind her. Yeah, that's why you got to pay without asking. People don't want to accept, sometimes. But she knows me. It's my friend right there. She's so nice. So the LEO officers, let's see if they're still over here at the meeting of the minds. Oh yeah, there they are. There's a whole bunch of them over there. Morning, guys. Appreciate your service. So we'll get back in the truck here. Just look what I'm driving, baby. I got the big rig today. I wanted to dust the cobwebs off of it, and I wanted to make sure the battery was up. I wanted to feel like a man. Let's see here. Hang on. That wire is going to be in the way. I know it's going to spill if I stick it in there. Get out of there. There we go. There we go. Put that guy right there. All right. Now, do we take a drive over to the bridge and do some exercise, or go home, pack a bag, and go somewhere? It's Saturday morning, baby. I know I need to hit the gym is what I need to do. There's still plenty of time in the day. If I want to go up to Clearwater or something like that. Let me turn the camera around. We'll talk for a minute. We support the blue around here. I really appreciated how the LEO over there all raised their cups and said they appreciate me too. It's nice being a citizen and part of the community. Oh, that's good coffee. My gosh. Hazelnut. I'm back. Man, let me tell you something. Oh, that's slurping good. Folks, let me just show you in all of its glory. We don't need that protection thing on there. She was so nice to help me. It is a little warm. Wawa coffee. This is the 100% Colombian with hazelnut. I'm going to tell you right now. That's the best cup of coffee I ever drank in my life. That is good coffee, man. You got to come down to Wawa. Oh my goodness, that's good. I had a bottle of water, not a pot of coffee. You know, I make the coffee at home. I used to use one bottle. Turn my wipers off though. It's so humid here in Florida that it just keeps moisture on the window here. The humidity, it is what it is. You know, I was raised here, so I'm used to it. But man, those guys out west, they really got me motivated. Want to hook up and go. Folks, that's really good coffee. I bought a Honda Accord recently, based on I've always wanted one, and I was feeding this pig, this lovely pig, I love it, too much gas to run every single errand I'm doing. I could have bought a lot of gas for what I paid for the Honda. The Honda is, I'm a golfer. I'm a 65-year-old man. I'm not really a truck guy. I like trucks. I mean, I use this to tow my house. This is to use. I bought the 4Runner to make videos and go out west and do some off-roading out of pleasure. My pleasure, not necessarily to make my YouTube channel grow. I love that kind of stuff. I'm still 25 years old in here. I am. I'm very, very young-hearted. And I'm adventurous. You guys saw the video. Look at the 2021 Toyota 4Runner Conquers Hell's Revenge. Look what I did. I just bought it. And that was nuts. I wouldn't do that again. But as far as regular off-roading, I would love to do some, trenches and rock crawling and, small little hills. Nothing where I'm going to fall off into the abyss like Hell's Revenge was. That was absolutely nuts. But I did it. But what I tell you guys here is the gospel. And when I told you I bought a Honda Accord and I financed it because they had a special introductory rate, I did that. I did that. And before the first payment came, I'm not doing that. But I've decided that, and I know a lot of you don't believe this because you can't believe a damn thing I say, is I won't have it a year because I change often. I've had several cars in only a few years. But I thought I will keep my camper and live in it. I thought I will keep this Tundra that's good for 500,000 miles and use it for low maintenance and low wear and tear. Forget the diesel trucks, all that stuff that we've talked about. And then I thought, to keep this reliable, to pull the house, and I'm gonna get the transmission fluid changed in it because I might go back across country again soon. I'm not saying I will, but I'm really thinking about it. It's just fun. I mean, while I can and want to, before I get another year older, the road goes both ways. And I've gone both ways already a couple times. So people talk about, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? Folks, I've been better off every single year for the last 38 years. Since I got out of the car business when I was up and down, every year has been like this for me. Every year. Even if it's only the little bit, it's always been another better year. More adventure, more blessings, more things to do, more acquisitions, more of everything. More in my growth, more in my strength, more in my health, more in my, even with the eye thing. I mean, I'm a very, very blessed man. I really am. I'm very thankful for what I have. I don't want to change anything. If it means losing one thing that I've had or experienced or who I've been with, I wouldn't want to replace anything. Just leave it alone. So back to the story. I don't have any debt, folks, and that's the end of it. And I'm not going to say it again, but I have no debt. All right? Period. Now, let's talk about today. And man, you guys have got me thinking about going. I mean, I'm ready to go to Laughlin this morning. Forget Clearwater, the Keys, and go walk the bridge and go to the gym, which I'm going to do first. I got to go to the doctors and get my eye surgery and all that. Oh my gosh. That's really going to be a pain for me. Really is. I showed you guys this right here. This was an acquisition I got for a buddy of mine. He is a staunch Trumper. And I stopped at the Trump store over here and I got that for him. And I'd proudly wear it too because I'm voting for him. I voted for him in 16, 20, and I'll vote for him in November. That's 3 times I've voted for this guy in 8 years. And that's kind of amazing right there, that the same guy can be running 3 times in 8 years. So it is what it is. It isn't for his orange hair, that he's a golfer, or that he says stupid things. It isn't for any of that. And I don't dislike her because she's a woman or of a different race or of anything like that. It's not personal that I like him, dislike him. It's not personal that I like or dislike her. She's doing what she's got to do, just like you do what you got to do to get a promotion at your job. But what I've decided is this guy has already sat in the chair. This guy has already shown and has record of record-breaking economies and prices and rules and regulations and getting rid of certain regulations and protecting those things and going down the American way that I grew up with. I just relate to it. You know, I respect that you think differently. Maybe you're younger, you're older still, you're my age, and you think completely different. I respect you. You're in my community. I got nothing. I don't care who you vote for. I really don't. I'm telling you right now, though, and this will be the end of why I'm making these one-off this morning in morning chat. He's already sat in the chair. He already has this experience. He already did some things, and he knows now, with the way that things have progressed, what he wants to do now. It's not about, you know, these people, man, they talk about some stuff that has no relevance to the benefits for you and me and the USA. You have to put country before yourself sometimes. That includes all the people in the country. And I'm not saying she's not going to do a better job. I could be wrong. But what I don't hear, it's not that I don't like, what I do not hear is every single time, the few times that I've tuned in to get it from the horse's mouth, that's the only time I watch. Recently, there was an interview with Oprah. And I thought, well, here's an opportunity. Let me check that out. I mean, I got common sense thinking. And if anything, you know, I'm a registered independent. I can vote either way. I can still vote either way. And I will. If some groundbreaking that I believe in my heart, that God nudges me and says, this is the way that's best for you and the world and this country. You know, not a particular tax break or one regulation he's going to get rid of or this or what he's going to do to certain people. None of that. It's the whole. But every time this woman is asked a question, I hear the same answer. It's about where she grew up and blah, blah, blah. You know, I know it as good as she does. And I know that's relatable to a lot of people in a sector of the electorate that resonates with them because that's what they do. They're politicians, folks. They're going to, like Fox News, they're going to keep sounding the narrative and the soundbite that resonates with their audience, because the longer they keep watching, the more money they make on the advertising. That's what the media. CNN, the same way. But me as an individual, as a voter, I want to know, and none of them are, it's the same rats with different heads. I've said this before. They're all the same rats with different heads. But we got one rat that at least is a business person and can articulate and can speak to world leaders. Now, whether he's in bed with some of and all these things you hear and accusing him of doing, and Biden too, and all that kind of stuff, hey, believe me, they all got their backdoor deals. I know they do. In the car business, they had them. Every business, they got them. There's politics in every little business, even in restaurants. You got politics. It's a fact of life. This is a capitalistic country. Capitalism rules. People want to get ahead. It's always about the money. But when I see someone cannot articulate, at least even lie good, and promise me, tell me what I want to hear, or go outside of the community that she's resonating with to get new votes, like mine as an independent, by answering a question and sounding businesslike. I say, hey, this person, you can't even talk to Oprah good. How is she going to deal with world leaders? How are these men, these powerful people in other countries, going to sit down? What are they thinking right now? This is the person potentially we've got to go to the table with. And all presidents, folks, are puppets. They're all told what to do. There's people behind the curtain pulling the strings. There's a puppet master. And that's true, I believe. But it seems like Trump, he's a little harder to control. If he was that easy, then he'd zip it a lot more than he does. But he just doesn't seem to care. He definitely doesn't need the job. He doesn't need the money. They've put off his, verdict of what they're going to do to him for these charges, these convictions that he has. Now, do you think that you'll ever see in your life a sitting or an ex-sitting president go to a jailhouse? No. Folks, there's honor among thieves. He's got too much dirt on them. It's all about winning the horse race. It's all about putting in your head some kind of doubt or bad black mark, a black eye, that you're like, you know what? This guy's just too, I'm going to have to go over there. That's how desperate both sides work at winning the power of the world. Someone wrote in comments the other night that it's not just the top of the ticket people. It's the people that vote need to be responsible and know who they're voting for all the way down the ticket. Because it's not always the top that affects their lives. It's the state and local where you live. Because you know what? If you look at this analogy, everything that goes along in your community, to your town, to your city, is the same thing that happens on the federal level. It's just much larger. In fact, the people that run where you live affect your life more personally because those are the laws and rules that are right where you're at. So there's a lot of rats. Like they say, it's a swamp. So you got to make your way through it. And how do you do it? Well, you vote. You vote for blue or you vote for red. I don't care. Like I said the other day, just vote. I've made my statement. I've done it twice in a row. I'm not changing. I would. If they were to put up somebody, do you realize that I understand that Biden got like 20 million votes, and she got none, and she's only been pushed in there. There was no rally or voting or anything held to select this individual. She was the first one to drop out against the race the last time. She just harps on a couple of things, just like the Republicans do, about the Second Amendment and whatever it is they tout all the time. And then the Democrats are about the woman's rights and all that. And that's a tough one, folks. I'm not a woman. And I'm a Christian. So you say, well, then you ought to know right away. You just say, if you're a Christian, you should kill babies. At the same time, if my daughter or my wife was raped and, see, it just gets into a very, very difficult thing. That's why the Supreme Court that overruled Roe versus Wade, I didn't even know this actually, but the fact is, it's not illegal for an abortion. The Supreme Court didn't say no abortions. They said, let the states decide. They passed the buck. They kicked the can back to them. They said, hey, who are we? They're saying the same thing. Let the states, if you live in a state or you're living in a town or a community that like-minded people want a certain thing, it's like an HOA in a community. You do not have to move in there. If they tell you you got to paint your mailbox white and no other color, you know this before you move in. You accept this. Don't complain when you want to paint your mailbox red. They told you up front, don't move in there. If you live in a community that doesn't have the demographics or the laws or the rules or a state or a county that you like, don't live there. So these are all the variables. These are all the things that we as a voter have to decide. And I don't know how much benefit Trump would do for me. And I don't know how much she could do for me. All this first-time buyer stuff is going on right now. But it's what they will do for the country. It's what our security and safety will be. There it is. This is really what's got me really about this. They literally, it looks like, are flying people in and hosting them and setting them up, and no paperwork, no questions. All these people that had to go spend a lot of money and do whatever to become a citizen here, they seem like they're just, you have to have security or you don't have a country. That's some more light in. My window's getting so fogged up. And I know for a fact, as a 65-year-old man, that in the last umpteen years, we've had a tremendous amount of good and bad people come into this country. Now, the good people, I think, are way, way ahead of the bad. But they're easily sliding in, and they can do some terrible, terrible things. There has to be a filter. You can't just let everybody without question. If I was living in Guatemala or Mexico, and that's squalor, in some of the countries that they don't take care of their people, they have no good economy. Heck, and I saw there was a caravan of people heading out to the USA, and I heard there was a pot of gold on the other side of the rainbow. I'm in there with them. I'm going. What do I want to live a life like that for? Especially if I got any goals and ambition. Think about what these people actually go through to get here. I can't fault them. I mean, a lot of them are young women with babies. Yeah, I know they hope they can get the welfare and the food stamps and the free medical and all that. They're human beings. They're human beings with a baby they're trying to take care of. And they're sitting over there in some squalor country with a corrupt government that doesn't give 2 cents about them at all. I mean, we got the same kind of thing. to a degree, but you can't blame them. So let them come, but let them come legally. Even if we loosen up, what do they call that when Russians used to defect? They're defecting because they're afraid of their life, of what could happen to them in their country. If they come and they want to just go and file a paper and claim that, at least. But to come under the cloak of night, crawl over a fence, through a tunnel, and bring with you not just people from Mexico and Guatemala, but all these countries that are totally against us, to be able to slide in with them and then set up. Look what they did on 9/11. They all got to a group and studied how to fly a plane. I mean, that was pretty deep studying. It took time. They got patience. And all they want to do is create hate, division, and kill. I mean, it's a very dangerous place out there. So that's why I feel that this individual is all about security for our country. You'll be thinking that too when they come to your door and want to knock it down and take what you got. They're doing it. These groups are just rising up and going and just pillaging and taking things from people. Why do I carry a firearm? Because I can't carry a cop. If it ever went crazy here, folks, you couldn't scratch the surface of how few law enforcement there is to handle the bad guys that are out there that will just, boom. You've seen it during the pandemic. People will go absolutely crazy. We never want to see that day. And so whatever it takes to keep people feeling like it's a great place to be, and they don't want to blow it up. They want to keep on rolling, keep on rocking, keep on crushing it. That's what we want. So for me, it's Donald Trump. For you, it could be, what's her name? Miss Harris. So think on that. I know you don't have to think. I didn't have to think. This was probably an exercise in futility. But because we are getting close, if anybody sees this video, and other than being a political ad that they watch on TV that's garbage too, all of them are just hit jobs. If there was anything that gives you cause to pause, to think about going red or blue from what I've said, then I hope and pray that God touches your heart and your mind and causes you to do the right thing. I don't care which one it is, as long as you feel you're doing and making a sacrifice for the country, not based on their gender, their freebie or not freebie, or I don't know. There's all kind of stuff. Get off that shallowness. Get off the fact that he's a loudmouth with orange hair. And he said it did some things. He's been a billionaire his whole life. He's a playboy. What's that got to do with how good of a businessman he is? Look at me, golf courses, buildings, real estate. I don't care about the bankruptcy stuff. Hell, if push comes to shove and I get in a position, if it's my right and I don't have to, be stressed, millions of Americans have filed bankruptcy. And if this economy goes down, you can see millions more in line doing it, exercising their right to start over. And that's what it's about. It's about being an American. It's about doing the right thing. It's about being a good, moral person that thinks about others over you, to be selfless, because those are the ways that people act and think and do that gives them a more joyful, prosperous life, because you absolutely will reap what you crush.